Hi, my name is Alex and I'm that tech guy. Last week on the channel, I showed you my 5 best home automations. If you haven't seen that video, you can watch it right here. I also told you that I would show you exactly how I handle my media files, my music, my TV shows, and my movies. I've decided that it would be better to show you how you can take your media files and do the same. For today, I'm gonna show you how to install Ubuntu server on an old computer, erasing everything that's already on it. So to start, we'll head over to the Ubuntu website. We'll click on Downloads, and in the second column, you'll find Ubuntu server, and there's a green button that says Get Ubuntu server. Click on that button. Click on Download Ubuntu server 22.04.3 LTS, and it will start the download. And I'm gonna speed up the download process. Once the download is finished, you'll need a software that's called Balena Etcher. The link is in the description. For the sake of this video, I'll assume that it's already installed. So open Balena Etcher and click on Flash from File. Now locate the file you just downloaded for Ubuntu server and click on it. Now you have to select a drive that you want to erase. Make sure that you take a flash drive that has nothing on it. It's gonna erase everything on that drive. So if you have some files on it, they will be deleted. Now we have to wait till it goes through the process of flashing that ISO file on that USB boot disk. So we'll just flash it and we'll use that flash drive to start the computer. So the flashing process takes quite a while, but I've made it faster by pausing the video recording a few times during the process. After the flashing process is done, the Balena Etcher software is gonna validate that USB drive to make sure that all the files are in there. So the process is also time consuming, so I sped it up, but it's pretty much the same thing. You just have to wait until the end. Once the process is done, reboot the machine, and depending on your machine, you want to use the boot options. So most machines, if you press escape repeatedly on startup, it will show you a boot menu and it's going to ask you from which device you want to start the computer from. For my machine, escape works. For yours, it might be different, but you can Google boot menu with the name of your machine and you should find which key it is on your keyboard. But press that key repeatedly and wait for the menu. And you'll be able to choose your USB flash drive as a startup disk. Okay, so you got a menu that says try or install Ubuntu server. So you click on that and we wait a little bit and it's gonna load up the installer. After a few minutes, it should ask you which language you want to use. It's gonna ask you which language you want, and it's gonna ask you if you want to install Ubuntu server or Ubuntu server minimized. I usually take the Ubuntu server at that point. It's gonna ask you to choose a mirror. I usually leave the default and I click done. It's gonna also ask you for your name, the name for the machine. In this case, I'll call the machine Alex.TechGuy. I need to pick a username. I'll just say Alex. Username Alex, but you go ahead and put whatever you want and you choose a password. It's gonna ask you if you want to install additional services. I usually don't at that point because we can always install them later on. Now when that's done, we have to wait a couple of minutes. It will go through a process of downloading and installing all the necessary files to install the software. And at some point, it's gonna ask you to reboot the machine. So that's what I do when I get there. And after that, it's gonna ask you for your username and password. Congratulations! You've just set up your first Ubuntu server. Now in the next video from this series, I'm gonna show you how to mount a folder from your hard drive and share it as a network drive on your Windows computers in the house. So that way, if you have a laptop, a desktop, they all get a small drive where you can drag and drop files, and from there, you'll be able to access all your media files on all your machines. So that's coming right up in the next video of this series. Also, in the next videos in this series, I'll be covering how to install Jellyfin so that you can watch your TV shows and your movies on your TVs and listen to your music from anywhere in the house. So if you don't want to miss out on this, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.